Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Betrayal of the Mountain Man by William W. Johnstone with J.A. Johnstone. Narrated by Jack Garrett. This book is copyrighted 2006 by William W. Johnstone. This recording is copyrighted 2007 by Recorded Books. They called him the fastest gun alive. But Smoke Jensen is determined to stay on the right side of the law. But when tried for robbery and murder and sentenced to death, there's nothing he won't do to clear his name. And now, Betrayal of the Mountain Man.
Chapter 1. Smoke Jensen saw the calf struggling through a snowdrift. The little creature had separated from its mother and the rest of the herd, and was bawling now in fear and confusion. He also saw the wolves, 2 of them, about 25 yards behind the calf. They were inching up slowly, quietly, hunkered down on their bellies to reduce their presence. Smoke snaked his Winchester from the saddle sheath, then jacked around into the chamber. He hooked his leg across the saddle horn, rested his elbow on his knee, then raised the rifle to his shoulder and sighted on the lead wolf. He was about 150 yards away from the 2 wolves, and he was looking down on them, so it would be a difficult shot. But he figured that even if he didn't kill them, he might at least be able to drive them away from the calf. Smoke squeezed the trigger. The rifle kicked back against his shoulder as smoke bellowed from the end of the barrel. When the smoke rolled away, he saw the lead wolf lying on its side, a spreading pool of red staining the snow. The other wolf turned and ran quickly toward the trees, kicking up little puffs of snow as it did so. Smoke jacked another round into the chamber and aimed at the second wolf. His finger tightened on the trigger. Then he eased the pressure and lowered his rifle. "Don't reckon I should shoot you for doing what your instinct tells you to do," Smoke said quietly. "I just don't want you doing it to my cows, especially not this year." Smoke rode down to the wolf he had killed, then dismounted. His bullet had hit the animal just behind his left foreleg, penetrated the heart, and killed it instantly. The wolf's eyes were still open, his tongue still hanging out of his mouth. Strangely, Smoke felt a sense of sadness. "I'm sorry I had to do this, fella, but you didn't leave me any choice," Smoke said. "At least it was quick for you." Smoke remounted, then rode on toward the calf. He looped his rope around the calf, then half led and half dragged it back to the herd. There he removed the rope and watched as the calf hurried to join his mother. What had once been a large herd was now pitifully small, having come through what they were calling the Great Winter Kill. Hundreds of thousands of cattle had died out throughout the West this winter, and Smoke's Sugarloaf Ranch was no exception. He had started the winter with 15,000 head. He was now down to less than 2,000. Smoke's only hope to save what remained of his herd was to push them into a box canyon and hope that it would shield them from any further winter blasts. He, Cal, and Pearlie were doing that very thing when he came across the wolves. Looking up, Smoke saw Cal approaching him from the north end of the canyon opening, while at the same time Pearlie was approaching from the south. Even if he had not been able to see them, he would know they were coming toward him, because each of them was leaving a long, black trail in the snow. Cal reached him first. "What was the shooting?" "Wolves," Smoke answered. "Yeah," Cal said. "Well, you can't much blame them, I guess. They're probably having as hard a winter as we are. Same with all the other creatures, which is why they're going after cattle rather than deer." "Wolves?" Pearlie asked, arriving then. "Yes, they were after a calf," Smoke said. "Too bad you didn't see him a little earlier." "What do you mean?" Pearlie twisted in his saddle and pointed back down the black smear that marked his path through the snow. 3 calves back there, or what's left of 'em, killed by wolves. Maybe we ought to put out some poisoned meat, Cal suggested. Smoke shook his head. I don't care to do that. Besides, there are enough animals around, frozen to death, that they probably wouldn't take the bait. You'd think they'd go after the dead ones and leave the live ones alone, Pearlie said.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.